Welcome everybody to my new 5-minute cinematography series, where every week we'll break down, examine, and recreate a shot from a movie. This week's shot is taken from the 1982 Blade Runner. Let's jump in. Let's take a look at how they might have done this lighting. So the first thing I notice, aside from the face, is these shafts of light in the fog or haze that they have in here, or smoke. So they have some sort of blinds over here to shape this light and create these light rays. As you'll see later on in the video, I could not quite get them to work in camera like this, so I had to do it after the fact, and it's not as good as it would look if I were able to accomplish these light rays in camera. So next, let's look at the composition of our shot. We have this big empty space, which is being nicely filled in by these light rays. And then we have our subject over here looking out the edge of the frame. This is called short sighting, when they're on the side of the frame that they're looking out from. So let's analyze the type of light that we can see on our subject. As we can see right here, this light is a hard source of light because it does not wrap around smoothly. It just kind of stops where it hits. That is the sign of a hard light. And if you want to learn more about hard and soft light, check out this video over here. I go into the different factors of hard and soft light. So we have this light over here, which is most likely coming from this window source or these blinds, whatever is creating these shafts of light. Next thing I notice on her face is that she's illuminated just a little bit on this side. She's got a little bit of a glow. So over here out of frame, she's most likely got either a white bounce card to bounce some of this light back onto her face, or they just have a separate light. I don't know exactly how they did it, but that's a general idea, just to illuminate this side of her face a little bit, and also maybe to create this little bit of an eye light to draw us in to her eyes. Let's take a look at the background real quick. The background's kind of on an angle like this. She's not flat up against the wall. It's kind of at this angle. And we have a little bit of light spilling from these blinds or whatever onto the background. So I want to replicate that as well. So on this back wall, it looks like it's just some woodwork that sets the stage for this shot. Now that we have an idea of how they lit and filmed this scene, let's take a look at how I recreated it. The first thing we need to do is find a place to recreate this. So I decided on using this bookshelf. Next thing to do was to set up the tripod and camera where I think the angle would work the best. First thing I did was to power on my main light, which was my Nanlite Forza 60. This will be the light that creates the lines in the haze. Next thing I did was take this clipboard on a stand and block the light from hitting the bookshelf. The next thing I did was hang up this bedsheet. Now this bedsheet wasn't for any specific lighting reason, but it was to make the space smaller so that I didn't have to use so much haze. Now to create the lines in the haze, I tried to make a poster board with slits in it, and also a small piece of paper with slits in it to see which one worked better. And in the end, neither of them really worked all that well. I couldn't get quite the definition in the lines that I was looking for, so I ended up making those lines after the fact in post. The next light I brought in was the front light to give my face a little bit of glow on the darker side of my face. Next, I put up another tube light to light up the background, imitating the spill of the light on the background in the original shot. The next light I used was this LED panel with honeycomb grid on it to keep it from spilling onto the bookshelf in the background and to add a little more punch to the bright side of my face. Add some haze and there we have it. Let's take a look at each of these lights one by one. Alright, there we have it. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown and recreation of the shot from 1982's Blade Runner. Let me know down in the comments what movie you'd like to see me break it down and recreate next. And until next week, have a great one.
Friend of me, enemy me. All these niggas just wanna be a mini me. All these niggas just wanna be a